Hi guys, hello, Mary, meet you everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene. Today we're going to talk about the newer crossing signals. Now this is like a second check, because the first video, well, it got some attention, but I made some errors. So I wanted to try to take some time to correct it. And so, a little bit about me. First of all, I'm legally blind and I'm partially deaf. And so we can see some people, of course, don't even bother to use the signals, but some of us do, and we do use them, and we are concerned about the safety of crossing the street. The new signals, I don't think I really thought about the blind deaf, which is kind of an irony because there is a college with deaf studies right across the street, right over there. And that's what they focus on, is the deaf studies. And so I thought I would take the time right now to go through and explain this a bit better to you. I'm also going to include some video from the old system, from another street that still has the old setup. And I'll also include a video of the UK version as well, which is more blind friendly. First of all, the nice thing is you'll see that the physical arrow points to where each signal is for. For example, since this signal here is pointing forward, you see it's going for this crosswalk. Conversely, this one here is pointing to this crosswalk. But the problem it stems from is that these buttons do not physically press in. These are, more than likely, is capacitive touch, which means that there's no physical press. If I push this with my fingers,
wait.
It says wait.
Wait.
Okay? It doesn't actually move. So, if you're totally deaf and blind, you'll never know it's been pressed. So it needs a tactile response so that you can actually see when you press the button. Now that I press the button, if I look across the street here, or if I get over here onto this red surface, I can see up here the signal, the walk bands just changed color. And then after so long, he's going to start seeing a countdown timer, 20 seconds. So that's going to tell me. But because there's no horn, there's no alerter, the blind may not know anywhere it's time to cross the street safely. And that's an issue because people who are blind but can hear, well, not going to be able to know either if it's safely time to cross the street. So again, this is indeed a safety issue. Another question about these new controls is, what about in the wintertime? Are these things, when we get ice and snow, are these things going to be constantly triggering a false positive? I mean, or is it going to prevent some of these actual controls from actually resulting in a result? It would be nice to have like the UK setup, I mentioned that a lot, is that underneath here, here's the signal box. Underneath the signal box would be a little nub that sticks out that either buzzes or turns. This allows a totally blind deaf person to place their finger underneath here, and they can feel when the thing starts to buzz or turn, and they know it's safe to cross the street. This doesn't have that, so because it doesn't have that, a blind deaf person may not feel comfortable crossing the street. Remember too, also, that when we talk about handicapped individuals, a lot of able-bodied people appreciate this technology too, especially families with children. You know, when you're a mom and you have children in tow, it's not always easy to keep things organized, especially when your little ones are running around and you're worried about them not being able to keep up with the traffic and all that. It's very common. So, as it is right now, these signals are not doing it because they don't have any kind of tactile response to the buttons. They do not click, they do not physically indicate but feel a latching action. That's a serious issue. I do appreciate, as I said, that the arrows point, like I said, to where they're going to. And that's great. I like that, because the original signals did not. So we used to wonder if we were coming up at the crosswalk, if it was going for this sidewalk, or if it's... And then we always kind of scratched our head and went, well, whose sidewalk is this for? Is this for that sidewalk? Well, fortunately enough, Connecticut Department of Transportation kind of resolved it. But these instructions have another problem too, because these are not in Braille, so the blind can't tell. And this timer doesn't really make a lot of sense, because it's not set for 8 seconds, it's set for 20 seconds at this intersection. I have no idea what the time is set for this intersection. But that's an issue too. Well, right now, guys, I want to thank you very much for watching this. I'm going to be including some more video clips as we go. So, I'm going to include a video on the older signal. It exists on another main street here in Winsted. And I'm going to include the a video of the UK signal, or at least a piece of the video anyway, from BBC Social, so you can see how the British versions work in comparison to the American versions. And I hope that both will give you some ideas to how to make these intersections safer for everybody, blind, non-blind, blind and deaf, etc, etc, etc. Alright, talk to you later, guys. Thank you very much for watching this. Please don't forget to like and share, and definitely share with your Department of Transportation in your state. Let's get this fixed. Let's make sure we can keep this needs of the Americans with Disabilities Action in mind of America. The signal violates the ADA big time, and it's no excuse considering it's a brand new system. The old system was technically in violation too, it's just that it was in less of a violation. I wanted to show you some of the old buttons that still exist here in Winsted. And I'm going to do this because the fact is, there's the system here is the original system that we had that was a little more blind friendly. And so I figured I'd show you this first. You can see, first of all, it's pretty simple. It's got a button, you push it down with your hand, and if you hear a click sound, it clicks. Then, you can see over here, on the top of the pole, the hand. And this one may or may not have a horn on it. Some of these do. If it does, you will hear a horn come on. So I press the button. Okay, this has the signal. You can also see it up there too, although it's kind of hard to see. So this one lacks the horn, but has the rest of the stuff. So that's the old buttons. Now, if the new system used some of the old button technology, it wouldn't be so bad.
Hi, my name's Sam Little and I'm registered blind, and I'm on a mission to let everyone in on a little secret. Crossing roads is something we all take for granted, but did you know at thousands of crossings all over the UK, there's a little device that makes crossing the roads safer for people like myself who have visual and hearing impairment. Now this device is called by many names, the rotating cone, the secret button, or even the spinning nodule, but for people with any degree of sight or hearing loss, or both, it is a lifesaver when it comes to crossing roads safely. Now for some reason, this little device is not a legal obligation for councils around the UK when they're installing crossing. Whilst they are becoming more and more common, there are still loads of crossings that have broken rotating cones or none at all. There's nothing worse than standing at a crossing, you can't see the green man, and it's a crossing that doesn't beep. How are you supposed to cross safely? When you're crossing roads, a lot of the process is piecing together information, whether it's other people crossing, the sound of cars coming to a halt, but to have an indicator that the green man has lit up is just key to making decisions safely. So spread the word, and the next time you're at a crossing, see if you can find the secret button.
Well, thank you guys for watching this little rant. I hope it helps you in the future to avoid getting yourself killed. Okay, thanks.